Hello, English 2210 online students. How are you? I'm going to move myself. This is your instructor speaking. My name is Renee Maluli. I'll be your instructor for this course. Happy spring semester. I hope you all, whether you're returning to DACC or you're just getting started, I hope you had a happy new year and a great holiday. I still am in holiday mode a little bit. So I am just trying to make sure that this video is just going to introduce you to the course, go over the syllabus, exciting stuff, I know, but it's also for me to make sure everything makes sense for you all. So we're going to get started. Just move this. I'm going to disappear for a minute. You should now be able to see the syllabus, and you'll hear me repeat the course a lot because I teach different English classes, so I want to make sure I'm in the right one. Again, this is English 2210, also known as Professional and Technical Communication, 3 credits. This course is 100% online. We'll talk about what that means in just a second. The syllabus isn't going to go over verbatim, line by line. Take your time to read it at your own pace. If you do have questions about something that I don't cover here in the video, please don't hesitate to reach out and I can talk to you about it more. But I'm already going to apologize and say that this video is going to be long because I talk too much. But I just want to make sure I cover important things for the course. So I have to kind of trim some things back a little bit. So we're just going to focus on this course particularly. If you do have questions, again, like I said, read the syllabus at your own pace. Make sure you read everything. And if there are questions about something not covered, please let me know. Like I said, I'm your instructor. Renee is fine. Miss Maluli is fine, whatever you're comfortable with. I have a new office, so I'm verifying the number and the room number, but it should be. I'll double check. I'll let you know if it needs to be correct on the syllabus, but it should be, excuse me, DAAR 1010 at the East Mesa campus. It's a lot of letters and numbers. Like I said, I'm not used to this office number. It's new. I'm excited, but I'm learning and memorizing everything again. It's located at the East Mesa campus. And if you all, I just finished another lecture video, so I'm already losing my voice. If you all need to get in contact with me, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can email me through the NMSU Outlook mail. That's my email address. Or I prefer Canvas mail. It's the notification's a little faster and I see it right away. Canvas mail, if you've never emailed somebody on there before. Back again, hello. When you're in Canvas, there's right over here a thing called inbox. When you click it, that's how you can go and send me an email. I'm not going to click it here because I don't want names to come up or correspondence to come up on my screen. But when you click inbox, you have to type my name in. Just make sure you only email me and not the whole class if it's something personal. But that is how you send Canvas mail. And that's a little bit better option because it's right there, the notification. But if you prefer the NMSU Outlook mail, that's fine as well. My office hours are every Tuesday I'm going to type this up at the top again, actually, too. I always tell students there's always little things I need to add to my syllabus, which is why I also go over it and record it for my own peace of mind to make sure everything makes sense. Like I said, I'm in the DAAR, that's the Academic Resource Building, room 1010, the East Mesa campus. I'm there every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's kind of obvious, but let me put this in just in case. And I'm there then. You all are in an online class, so no pressure if you cannot meet in a face-to-face office setting. It's just there because you all are more than welcome to if you're free during that time to come by and meet. But you can also, particularly for you all, since you are in an online class with me, you can send me an email if you'd like to schedule a virtual Zoom appointment, and I'd be happy to meet with you through there if you have any questions. I just tell students if you do want to meet virtually, I can't meet during the day you're sending the email. I need a little bit more advanced notice because I teach some face-to-face classes as well. I always tell students I recommend just sending 3 different days and times that you're available, and we can let our schedules match. So that's how you can find me. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Like I said, I'm not going to go over into the particular school statements, but please take your time to read them. This class, like I said, it's an English class, but it may not be a traditional English class that you're thinking of. There's not any kind of essays that we write in this class. We don't really talk about literature or fiction. This is more of a professional and tech writing class, meaning that you're going to be practicing how to communicate in the professional world. This class is here to sharpen those skills to better prepare you outside of your academic career, but for your professional career. So a lot of the assignments have you pretend that you are working in a professional space to design, develop, create any type of document relevant for that topic. This course is open. A lot of the majority of the assignments are open topic because I like you to choose topics that interest you in the professional space as well. I think it's kind of boring if I force you to choose a topic that you may not be interested in. You have a little more fun, I think, when it's your own interests as well. So like I said, the majority is your own professional interests, and the documents that we'll design will feed to those topic ideas. It's learning how to communicate not only through writing, through design, through visuals, through sound, anything that in the digital space as well, that we use to communicate, and who that audience is that we're communicating to, and how we structure our purpose to meet those audience expectations. It's a lot of word vomit that I just threw your way, so don't worry if you're confused by that. Each week you'll kind of unfold objectives that will add to this overall course purpose. Check your prereqs. Make sure you're supposed to be here. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you've completed English 1110 prior, or that you have the adequate expectations co-reqs for it. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Course rationale is just kind of like what I said. The way you organize your message and the way you communicate reflects positively on you. So learning professional business and technical communicator responsibilities and ethics is a really important goal and objective that we think about all semester. So it's not your traditional English class, but it's a very important one because it's a way to bring your own professional goals, what you've learned in the past, what you hope to learn in the future. But basically, we kind of pretend we're not in class with this English class. We pretend you're professional in your career already. So these kind of objectives and outcomes is what you're looking at. Like I said, I won't go into the details of these today because you're probably thinking, what genre, what professional design, what does that mean? You're going to do all of your assignments are very different from each other because there's so many different ways that we can communicate. So we're going to practice those as well. A little bit of how to find credible sources as well when we professionally communicate. And the required materials for this class, you need access to Microsoft Word to complete your major coursework, the majority of the coursework. If you don't have Microsoft Word, that's fine. Google Docs is more than acceptable. You need internet since it is an online course to review and complete your coursework. You need to complete the coursework either on a computer or a laptop. You can't use a cell phone to complete coursework. It's a little too challenging, especially when we get more into the digital literacy, the digital design part of the course. It's really particular and you have to use a computer or a laptop. A cell phone is more than okay if you're just checking in for the day just to see what's going on or to send email. That's fine. You need access to an appropriate internet browser. Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, or Safari are the universal ones to use. Unfortunately, the Canvas app, you may have it if you have a smartphone or if you have an iPad. I have it on my iPad. It's not good to upload assignments. This is just from former students telling me that it gives them a lot of errors. So that's why you want to just always be in a regular internet browser to be signed into your DACC account through there. You want to save your work as a docx or PDF file only. PDF is preferred, especially in this class when we get more into design, because Canvas, when you don't have it as a PDF, it doesn't freeze the document and it kind of distorts the layout of what your actual document looks like. And I meant to say here, I'm going to add, don't use Pages to complete coursework. If you have an Apple product, Pages is the common type of Word document that you have in your device. You can't use it because Canvas doesn't allow me to leave feedback on your upload when you upload it into Canvas. So unfortunately, Pages is not good either. You can certainly draft something on Pages and copy it into Microsoft Word or Google Docs, but Pages is not Canvas friendly either. So if you have questions about that, please let me know. If you don't know what any of this means, I'm going to show you. I have some tutorial videos on how to download web browsers or how to save as well. So I understand if you have questions about that. Making sure don't use Pages to complete coursework. See, this is why I do this, to make sure that everything is in tip-top shape for you for this syllabus. A USB is not required, but it's recommended that you have one, or just that you have somewhere to back up your work. I have been on that end as a student, as a professional, as an educator, where I've lost files. It's not fun to redo work. So just always make sure you have somewhere to back up your file. Always back up everything you work on. Good news, no required textbook for this course. All readings I will provide for you through Canvas. We don't have heavy readings in this class. There certainly will be readings that you'll have, but a lot of this class is actually teaching you how to be concise and short. Ironically, unfortunately, this video and the syllabus is not that, but it has to be in there. It's important. But another goal we're going to learn in this class, you kind of learn in composition English classes, the more traditional English classes, you have to write more, right? Because it's an essay and you've got a word count. But in this class, we actually flip it and we learn how to cut out excess information that's not needed. We want our writing to be quick and concise. It's actually a way to be professional because it's a little more what we call audience aware. I don't know why I brought that up right now. Oh, because the readings aren't too dense in this class either, which is, I think, great. This course, like I said, is 100% online. It operates on Mountain Standard Time. It's what I mentioned, that word, it's taught asynchronous. All that means is we don't meet for a specific class time. We never have virtual class meetings. The course was offered that way, so I can't have you meet for a class time. It's offered asynchronous. That's how you registered for the course. So what that means is I pre-record all of my lectures, like the one you're seeing today has been recorded a few days before you're watching it. So each week is designed around what we call a course module folder for you to review and complete at your own time. All deadlines for that week, each week, are found in those folders as well. All that means, to summarize, every Monday morning you will see a new module folder ready for you to review. You don't have to review it that second, but I just recommend checking in as early as possible, just so you have an idea what's in that folder for you to review and complete for the week. It'll open Monday morning. That folder will close on Sunday. So you have from Monday through Sunday to review and complete that folder and the coursework that's in that folder. It's meaning that this course is structured so that you pace yourself and divide up weekly coursework throughout the week. That's what I recommend. But we all have different ways that we want to learn in an online class, so I don't want you to change your learning style. All I will tell you is it's impossible to wait until Sunday night to review and complete everything in a weekly folder. It's way too much. So allow, it just depends. A minimum of 8 hours per week for the course. It could be more, it could be less. It truly just depends what's going on for the week as well. But if you have questions, if that doesn't make sense, please let me know. It'll make more sense once you kind of get into the groove of the course. But Monday morning, that folder will be ready for you and it'll close that Sunday. So however you want to divide that up throughout the week for you with your own time and schedule is your prerogative. Classwork, evaluation. Every instructor has different classwork, right? So we got to talk about how I evaluate this course. Anything you do will be evaluated and graded. It's worthy, right? It's your hard work, so it deserves a grade. It deserves credit. So this is all of our course assignments. You have 4 major projects in this course. They are weighed the most. Doesn't make them the most important. Everything is important in this class, but they are weighed the most. There's 4 of them: international correspondence letter, newsletter, brochure, and instructions manual. Those are our 4 projects. They relate to the weekly unit and course objectives. Each one of those projects will have their own assignment guidelines and grading rubrics, and I'll have like PowerPoint lectures that go over them and break them down for you. So once we kind of arrive to those, they'll unfold more. There's something called a critical thinking common assessment. It's not as scary as it sounds. Every instructor of 2210 teaches this class different and has different types of assignments. This one assignment is a way for us to universally have you all do the exact same type of assignment, and not critique you in a bad way, but just see how you all approach it differently or similarly or a little bit in between. More information about it will be provided during the week it's due. It's usually due, I forgot what I have it for you all. It's usually around week 10. You'll see it in the calendar when you scroll to the bottom. Writing activities. Throughout the semester, there will be writing activities to complete. They'll relate to whatever's going on in the week, unit, and course objectives. They too have their own specific guidelines or grading rubrics. Ignore this. Sorry, this is for my face-to-face class. See, aren't you glad I'm checking this? Editing is good. You all are in my online class. So just you can review. Actually, you don't have to do that either, but you'll see when they're due in the calendar. So, like I said, writing activities depend. You're in a professional writing class, so you'll have one maybe like structure a memo, write a letter. We're gonna do something called a negative message. That's part of that. Some will be geared more towards graphic design. Others will be more about research writing, ethics, common grammatical, like concise writing, active voice, things like that. They vary. Other times they'll just be discussions that you all will have with each other about a reading or about a video or something like that. I like to change up writing activities so it's not the exact same type of assignment each week. I think that would be a little boring. So I like to switch it up. So there's different types of writing activities depending on what's going on. Topic proposals. The writing process is still important in this class, even though you're not writing essays. You're still writing, you're still communicating. So a good step 1, when you get the assignment guidelines for the major projects, a good step 1 is to complete something called a topic proposal or an outline. It just depends which project it is, but it allows you to plan out your ideas for the major projects before you even get started, because it allows me to review your plans and provide feedback to steer you in the right direction on how to move forward. So before you even begin those projects, you need to do a topic proposal so I know what your ideas are. That makes the projects a little less intimidating, in my opinion, too, because you can kind of break them down. Whenever a project is introduced for the week, it's not due that week. That would be unfair. These projects take a little more time. So the first step is just to see your ideas first before you move forward. So because there are 4 major projects, you'll complete 4 topic proposals, 1 for each project. Workshops, peer reviews. A good next step after you get your topic approved and you start working on it, a good next step is to complete a draft of that project and do what is called, oh, I apologize, I have this too. I copied over the syllabus because you all have similar assignments to my face-to-face students. There we go. Workshops and peer reviews are a way for you to share a rough draft of your project with your classmates and build those teamwork skills and give each other feedback before the final draft is due. So because there's 4 projects, there will be 4 peer reviews that you'll complete, 1 for each project as well. And then there's no final exam for this class. There's no test. The final exam, in quotes, it will be a presentation, nothing formal. More information will be provided. I kind of switch it out each semester, so I have a loose idea what I'm doing this semester with it. And then that is the breakdown of the assignments. Don't worry too much about the details of them in week 1, but that's what, just so you know what you're going to be working on all semester is good. Remakes and late work we got to talk about because, everyone has different policies for this. If you receive a C or lower on any of the major projects, meaning any of these 4 projects here, if you receive a C or lower on them, you can revise them based on my feedback. If the project is revised based on all my feedback, I will increase the score by 1 letter grade. If only half of the feedback is considered, I'll increase the grade by half a letter grade. I will increase the score by half a letter grade. Typo, there we go. If none of my feedback is considered, the original grade will stay the same, obviously, right? If it's the exact same draft, it stays the same. This is really important. You have 1 week from when you receive the grade on that project to revise and resubmit. So I'm going to pop up and say hello again. Hello. Good to see you all. If you don't know how to check grades, this is your Canvas homepage that you're seeing here. This tab right here, grades. If you click that, it tells you everything going on. I think it notifies you. I don't know because I've never been a student using Canvas before, but it should have a little notification next to it if something's graded, but it doesn't hurt to check in maybe once a week, maybe the Monday morning when you're popping in to see what's going on, because you have that week when you receive the grade to revise and resubmit. So check your grades often. No other coursework can be remade. That includes everything else that we work on, those writing activities, proposals, workshops, and that final presentation, and that critical thinking assessment, or whatever. I think they've changed common assessment, yeah. Little things get changed sometimes each semester, so I want to make sure it makes sense. None of those can be remade. Again, it's just because, first of all, the projects are weighed more, so there's more points for those. It's also just because if you start remaking everything, you start to fall behind in what's due for that current week, and it just kind of becomes a domino effect. So just be a little cautious with that as well. If the deadline is missed on any of those assignments, it will be a 0. Late work, again, for those 4 major projects, you want to submit everything on time, any coursework. But for the major projects only, those 4 projects, if it's 1 day late, it's a 25% deduction, 2 days late, 50%, 3 days late, 75%. That's also just because it's better than a 0, right? It's still some points. If not submitted by the 3rd day, it will be a 0 and cannot be submitted, so be cautious with that. And no other coursework can be submitted late. And I forgot that critical thinking. All those other assignments, activities cannot be submitted late. Same story. It's not to wave my finger at you and be strict. We do need to follow a policy to be organized in the course, but it's very hard to backtrack and then keep up with the current work. It just starts to become overwhelming. So just be a little cautious with that as well. This is more about NMSU fraction grading. If you have questions about it, let me know. More importantly, how you can earn points in my course. By the end of the semester, a quote perfect grade is 1,000 points. Anywhere from 1,000 points to 900 points by the end of the semester is an A, 899 to 800 a B, so on and so forth. Basically, you're working with about 100 points per letter grade. Sometimes students freak out with that number thinking, whoa, 1,000 points is a lot. But that actually is for your benefit because maybe you had a rough week and you missed a writing assignment. It shouldn't be too detrimental to your grade if you're keeping up throughout the semester. You have 100 points per letter grade. So it's a lot of points to help you and not hurt you, hopefully. Like I said, those 4 projects are each worth 100 points, so they are weighed the most. But every assignment is important in this course because they're all graded and they're all worth points. Topic proposals, you have 4 of those because 1 for each project. Those total to 100 points. Those workshops and peer reviews, 4 total because 1 for each project, 100 points total. And then writing activities will be scattered throughout the semester. You'll see in the syllabus calendar that'll show below when they're due. Those collectively, so let me put that total, are worth 300 points. So that's what I'm getting at, is if you miss one So long as you're keeping up with everything else, it shouldn't, I mean, I can't predict grades, but it shouldn't be too detrimental to your grade. Always keep track of your grades. If something is stressing you out, communicate with me. We can see what's going on. I can't promise anything, but let's talk. That critical thinking common assessment, 50 points, and the final presentation is 50 points. I changed a few things before I finalized this. I just checked my math before I started the video and it totaled to 1,000. I will double check everything again to make sure that the grand total is 1,000 points of all of these assignments. If you all have questions, please let me know. This is important too because everybody handles this, every instructor handles this different as well. I hope you don't have to drop the course. If it's about grades, talk to me first. Again, I can't promise anything, but it doesn't hurt to communicate and see what's going on. If you do decide to drop the course, whether it's for grade reasons or outside reasons, I understand life happens. I hope it doesn't. But if it ends up where it's better that you drop the course, just know that it is your responsibility to drop the course. I do not drop students. What that means is if you decide to drop the course, sometimes students think if they just stop doing the coursework that I'll eventually drop them. That's not the case, and you'll end up getting an F in the course, and that would make your GPA plummet. So just know that if you do decide to drop, you have to submit the paperwork yourself, complete and submit the paperwork yourself. Otherwise, you'll stay enrolled in the course, which is not good. If you have questions about how to drop or how to find the paperwork, don't hesitate to ask me. I can point you in the right direction for that. But just know that I do not drop students, so just be a little cautious with that. If you send me an email, they will be responded to within 24 hours if sent on Monday through Friday. I may check email on weekends, but I can't guarantee that they will be answered within that 24-hour window. So for example, if I get an email late Sunday night, very high chance that you won't get my response till Monday morning. So that's why you want to be a little cautious and not wait to review everything until the last minute, because if you do have questions, it would be too late by the time I answer. So just be a little cautious with that. And you want to only use your school email address or Canvas to email me. What I mean by that is I can't answer emails from Gmail or any other email address. That's a school policy that I have to follow. It also may not go to my inbox, and it may go to spam. So just be a little cautious there. Don't email me any coursework unless I tell you to. I get tons of emails every day. It will get lost in the shuffle, and it also just needs to be submitted through Canvas so that it can be graded appropriately as well. We don't have to worry about this. Y'all are in class, but we still have to worry about etiquette. Common sense, right? Be respectful. This is an open, safe space for everyone. So respect all as well. And we don't have to do this. Okay. Like I said, y'all, I teach this class face-to-face as well, and they have the exact same assignments, but it's the little things that I want to make sure is only geared towards online learning. I love online classes. I love face-to-face too, but if y'all have any questions about online class structures, please let me know. I can happily help. Technology is not perfect. Speaking of online, if you have difficulty submitting anything, email me at that exact time. Take a picture of it, of the error that you're getting. Not that I don't believe you. I have to visualize. I'm pretty tech savvy, but I have to visualize what that error is so that I can tell you who to contact and help you out. We'll talk about plagiarism in this course. You want to submit original work written by yourself. When we do start to learn about borrowing information from others, we'll learn about APA format and how to cite credible sources. If you don't know about that or you never learned that, that's okay. You'll learn it in this class as well. At the end of the day, y'all, communication is key. I'm here to help you. I want you to have fun. This is a fun class. We'll have a lot of fun. If you have concerns, don't hesitate to talk to me about what's going on. Visit office hours or email me if you want to meet on Zoom as well. If you know you'll be unable to submit an assignment ahead of time, submit it before the deadline, just so that it's done and it's out of the way, because you don't want to miss work. These are just resources for you. If you have any questions about them, take your time reading them. But if you have questions, let me know. These are important dates for the college, drop dates, holidays, finals, things like that. but more importantly is this course calendar that I keep bringing up, this mysterious course calendar. It's so important, you all. I recommend printing it, saving it to your computer. It always feels relieving to scratch off each week when you're done. I don't know, that's just how I am. It's a way to keep you organized, a way to keep me organized about what's going on each week. So, for example, we're in week 1. It has the dates of when the week's occurring and what objectives we're going to talk about. We're being introduced to the course for week 1. We're going over the syllabus right now in Canvas. We're going to talk a little bit about the rhetorical situation and what that is, and you're going to learn email format this week. And then this third column is so important. It tells you what's due for the week. You pretty much have Sunday deadlines for everything. There might be a few exceptions when we get to finals week, but overall everything pretty much has a Sunday deadline. Whatever that assignment is, but it's a good idea to have this calendar with you so that you know what's due and when. It's overwhelming, I think, to look at the whole course calendar week 1. That's kind of confusing and overwhelming. I always tell students just keep it week by week so that you keep track of what's due for the week and maybe peek into the next week so that you have an idea what's coming your way. Like we'll have 2 assignments due next week. Like I said, anytime a project is introduced that week, the final draft does not due that week either. It's too much. Their first project will be your international correspondence letter. So the topic proposal for that project will be due that week. If you have questions, like I said, about this too, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm going to pop in and say hello again. The sun is setting, so I'm like really bright. Apologize. I just kept reviewing things and then I thought it's time to record this video now. So let's talk about again, this video is going to be so long. Apologize if you make it through the end. Like, good job. I'm going to go over Canvas because every instructor organizes it different. So I just want to make sure you're clear on how I do it. So when you go into my 2210 course, the home page, this is it. Module 0 will always be up here at the top. It's just the kind of intro module folder. It's more of the tutorial, kind of get comfortable with what's required folder. Make sure you review everything in it though too, please. Little files, it'll start like introducing myself. If you care to learn more, I've been teaching here for a little over 5 years at DACC. I love teaching all English classes, but 2210 is a way I get even a little more creative, so I have fun with all of them though. Netiquette, how to be respectful of others. I mentioned earlier, if you are unsure about what internet browser and how to download it, file 0.3 has links on which one you can download. You don't have to download all of them, but how to download those required internet browsers. And then if you were unsure how to save a file as a docx or as a PDF, or if you're using Google Docs and you're unsure how to download that file, these links are here. Review these first, and then if you have further questions, contact me and I can clarify. And then course syllabus, that's where you'll find that document, always there and always important to have, especially so you have the course calendar with you. How to navigate through Canvas will be this video, so if you found it, you already got through it. If you're going to use Google Docs to complete coursework, this is a tutorial on how to use it. If you've never uploaded assignments to Canvas before, this file is very helpful for that. It's a tutorial. How to review graded feedback. Even, this is still a writing course, so it's not like math, right? It's not 2 + 2 = 4. You got it right or wrong. It's important to know why you got the grade you got on something that has more of a grading rubric. So with your major projects and a lot of the other coursework, I go into your actual draft and I leave individual feedback and comments throughout so that you're able to know why you got the grade you got. So if you're unsure how to do that, you have to go into grades and have to go into that assignment. This video explains how to find that graded feedback. If you can't find it, I'm an email away with that question too. So this is just an intro module. It's always going to be at the top. We're in Unit 1 right now, so you're going to see it like that. And I have the wrong, see, look guys, I'm not even putting that. I have to fix the state. Third. Okay. That makes more sense. So we're in Unit 1. It's called Communicator Responsibilities. The first 4 weeks will be under Unit 1. So this is how, Monday morning, every Monday morning you'll see a new module, with the exception of this week, since we just got started, since we start on Wednesdays for the first week of the semester. But normally, every Monday morning, you'll see a new module. We are in week 1, so if you notice, I did it here too. I visually remind you all here 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 4, 5. That's my way to remind you to go in that sequential order. It makes the most sense that way, and it makes your life less miserable. I promise. I learned that the hard way as a student. So you always want to start, in fact, I'll even put here Module 1 objectives. It's super dark in my room because I didn't time this video recording right. Start here. Okay. You always want to start just with the 0.1. The 1.0, because that's just saying, hey, this is what's going on for the week, what's due, what objectives we have, and all that fun stuff. Let me click it, but it's not going to be done right now. I have some ideas that I'm still working on. So it looks a little clunky right now. It'll look cleaner by the time you see it. I love movies and I love songs, so I like to start this file out with a movie and song suggestion of the week. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to watch them. It's just a fun way to kind of like clear our head and get started. So it'll look cleaner. I just can't decide what my recommendations are going to be yet for the week. So it'll look cleaner and you'll see it here. Then you'll always see in the beginning of each weekly module, it'll have the objectives of the week and the deadlines, and it'll match what you're seeing in that syllabus calendar right here. So it'll always be the same, but that syllabus calendar is always, so it's not surprising. The syllabus calendar says it already. And then you just want to go, like I said, in that sequential order, 1.1, 2, just keep going through it. Because by the time you get to whatever's due for the week, like for example, writing activity is due this week, it'll make more sense. It's going to be very tempting, I'm telling you now, that you're going to want to be like, nah, I don't need to look at any of this. I'm just going to go to the assignment that's due for the week and complete it. Sometimes that works, but sometimes I refer to files. Like in this writing activity, I tell you all to go to file 1.2 just to kind of get an email format overview. So if you skip over everything before an assignment, it's not going to make sense. So you have to go in that sequential order. And then I'll tell you when you've reached the end of the module and when the next module will open. So that's what I'm getting at, is every Monday morning a new module will pop up. So for example, January 23rd, Monday morning, below you'll see Module 2 files and assignments. That's why you want to pace yourself and check in on Monday just so you have an idea what files are there, and then tell yourself how you're going to divide up the readings and the files and the assignments throughout the week. So Monday morning, and from Monday morning to Sunday night to complete everything in each folder. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. It'll make more sense as you get more comfortable with the weeks. It's just a way to keep everything organized. And then one more thing before I end. I'm losing my voice. You've made it. Congratulations to the end of this video. There's something called a to-do list. I don't see it because I'm not a student, but I think it's somewhere right here. It's not good. All it tells you, it doesn't get deleted, so it backlogs, so it makes it look like nothing's due for you when stuff is due always each week. And it also is frustrating because you'll click it and it'll explain something that makes no sense because it won't tell you to look over these files. So like you may click the assignment in the to-do list and be like, I don't understand, I didn't see that. So ignore the to-do list is my advice, and ignore any kind of calendar unless it helps you keep track of just what's due for the week. That's good. But always just click the files in the module folder, and then you'll get to the end and then you're done. It's the easiest way, and it makes the assignments more clear, because if you skip this stuff, it just doesn't make sense. So that's my advice to you. That's just what I've heard too from former students when they tell me that the to-do list is kind of confusing. You have a syllabus calendar to remind you of what's due, and you should always just go in the order of everything. So, long-winded note aside, your tabs will look a little different by the time they won't look like this. I'm going to clean, so there's a lot of stuff we don't use on here, so I'm going to consolidate. But like I said, this will be your home page. Check in every Monday so you plan your weeks and keep up with those deadlines. If you all have any questions, I'm here to help you. I'm so excited to get to know each and every one of you. Have a wonderful start to the semester, and let's get going.